This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Rupert Verker, the CEO of Cobra Resources, following news that the company have raised $600,000 in a recent placing to advance the Boland rare earth discovery through advancing the ISR potential there. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Rupert. How are you?
Very well, Mark. Thanks for having me again.
Good to be talking, of course. I know it's been a busy sort of couple of weeks for you, but this fundraise from the RNS this morning was cornerstoned by investors who know the Wudinna project very well, and people who were also involved in originally selling it to Cobra for shares. So, the first question I'd like to ask you is how sort of well was the placing received? You know, how easy was it to get away, so to speak?
Well, look, we were very fortunate to have the support of the vendors of the project. They've been there for a long time and they really can see the value in what we're trying to achieve with demonstrating ISR as a preferred mining method at Boland. Look, when you're doing tight placings in this market, particularly with a very low discount, it's never easy, but we were very fortunate that we filled the book in very quickly. So
okay,
very grateful for the support we got from some very important existing shareholders and some new shareholders that we welcome to the register. So we look forward to be able to realise some value for them in the coming months.
Good to hear. Now, we'll talk about what you plan to do. I know it's sort of air core drilling, mineral resource and into the scoping study. But of course, as part of that RNS, a lot of re-assaying is being done. So I wonder if we can just get a reminder of what is being re-assayed and how how that fits into the bigger picture at the at Cobra's project here over what is quite a vast area.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Look, we nearly have 5,000 square kilometres of 100% owned land tenure now. And what that means is to be very considerate of our funds. We're going through a lot of the old drilling that was uranium-focused roll front drilling in the paleo systems that we're defining the ionic rare earth mineralisation within. And we're going back to the core library in South Australia and getting those samples out, XRF testing them, and then re-assaying the samples of interest. Okay. And what that's meant is we've, on the back of the core drilling that we did in February, we've been able to define what we believe is a regionally scalable interpretation or a model of where the ionic mineralisation will sit. And we've been able to go and validate that through that re-assay testing to provide confidence for us to now go and infill resource drill that exploration model. So very pleasing to see some high-grade results that are defining some significant scale.
Okay, excellent. So the 600,000 that you've raised there, what work program does this enable and how will you be wisely spending this money?
Well, the first component will certainly be some drilling. We'll plan to do 5,000 to 7,000 metres of air core drilling across the Boland prospect. We already have some funded work that is already occurring, which includes bench scale ISR studies. And from that work, we'll really look to focus in on optimising what our flow sheet will look like.
Okay.
Because our biggest opportunity to demonstrate to the market is how cost competitive in-situ recovery mining is as opposed to conventional mining methods. So what we want to be able to do is to get some confidence around the processing parameters like acid consumption and reagent costs to purify the rare earths in solution to a final mixed rare earth carbonate. And once we can do that, we can really start to put some economics around the Boland prospect and what a potential mine will look like. And we believe that that's going to demonstrate what the significant upside is to this discovery.
Okay, so and that work's going on at the moment, isn't it, with the testing here and the development of the flow sheet?
Absolutely. So we have bench scale ISR tests underway at Anstone in Australia, and we expect that work to be completed in May and hopefully results very early June.
Excellent. Okay, that's good. And of course, you already made a start on the pilot plant. It's already got the you prepared the ground, didn't you, when you were drilling there? So I guess you've got two things going on here. Once you get that test work back, sort of maybe June time, you'd look to go to where the pilot plant could be sited and start actually running some tests, but alongside doing 5,000 to 7,000 meters of drilling to further prove up further resource.
Absolutely. So when we completed that drilling in February, we installed the well fields in to support an ISR pilot study. And part of that process is for us to, over a period of time, take tests of the water quality from an environmental baseline perspective, but also from a production potential perspective to test the flow rates that we can achieve in that aquifer. So that work's been underway and will continue over a number of months, and that will support us getting the approvals that we'll need to take it to an infield pilot study.
Okay, good. And what work is involved to get that mineral resource estimate, which I presume will come before the scoping study?
Absolutely. We need a resource to support a scoping study. Look, what this reanalysis work is doing is it's really been able to identify some very high-grade areas within the paleo system that we can focus in on that drilling.
Okay.
And so this drilling will go on infill existing drilling that we've done, but also expand on these reanalysis results with the aim of supporting what is hopefully going to be a significant maiden rare earth resource estimate for Boland.
This year?
Absolutely, that's the plan.
Okay, good to hear. And I mean, how does it all fit into the greater sort of Wudinna project area? You say it's 5,000 square kilometres. I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover here. Are you just focusing in on Boland alone for the moment?
So we have a further sort of roughly 675 samples already at the lab for reanalyses. A number of these are from Boland, and we should see those results this month.
Okay.
Next month, end of May. And alongside them, we have a significant number of samples from the Uranium prospect, which is a roll front uranium asset that exists on our land, and we believe is going to be prospective for ionic rare earths, and we're reassaying a number of those samples as well. So really looking at trying to demonstrate the regional scale potential of the mineralisation that we've confirmed with good metallurgy at Boland.
Okay. Good. Well, if I can just pick up on an RNS that came out a little bit earlier, which was about the finalising of the 100% acquisition of Wudinna here. And this, you say you're evaluating opportunities in light of the strong gold and uranium markets. Of course, everyone knows how those prices are performing at the moment. And you're looking at how best to progress existing gold resources and highly prospective uranium assets while focusing, of course, on the Boland rare earth. So how does that fit in? What's the sort of strategy with this? You're looking to joint venture with other companies or get other people in to take advantage of the gold and uranium credits?
Yeah, look, we're certainly currently evaluating a number of options. I think what's important is we have 279,000 ounces of gold defined in resource, and it's very shallow, and it presents an opportunity to consider alternate options to bring it towards production, like toll treating or farming out or selling of a gold asset, things like that. So certainly looking at what we can do to best return value to shareholders. And likewise, whilst we're obviously exploring in these paleo channels, we have numerous defined intersections of elevated uranium in roll front mineralisation in these zones that we'll be testing for as we advance our rare earth strategy. But we'll also evaluate how we may be able to increase the focus and the speed of exploration on those assets. So looking at a lot of options there.
Okay, good. Just a final thought from you, Rupert, if I can, on the rare earth sort of sector in general. We're looking at Cobra there. You've got a circa sort of 8 million market cap at the moment. So, a lot of the juniors are fairly low at the moment. Yours is higher than some other rare earth companies that are out there. But rare earths are interesting. I don't think they're quite understood at the moment, but I think they're certainly going to be, given certainly some of the communication that's coming from the European Union, for example. But do you think there'll be a catalyst moment for, first of all, rare earths or also projects such as Boland here that would really capture the market's imagination? And if so, what do you think that might be? For you, I think the pilot plant could be one of those moments.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I think what's going to be important for us is that whilst in-situ recovery mining is widely known and understood in uranium mining, it's a new concept to apply to rare earths and ionic mineralogy. And I think once we de-risk the recovery components of ISR mining of rare earths, it really will demonstrate what the opportunity is for us. It really gives us the opportunity to be very cost competitive on both the mining and processing components. Mm-hmm. And we see that as being a significant advantage in a commodity that can be challenging from a cost perspective. So what that means is it gives us some resilience in terms of commodity cycles and allows us to be very competitive in the market. So look, we're really excited about what we think that could mean, and we're keen to demonstrate that through economic evaluation in an initial scoping study.
Excellent. And in terms of when you could perhaps get that pilot plant going, what would be the ideal sort of time frame from your point of view?
Well, look, as quick as possible. Yeah. We obviously have to satisfy environmental requirements first, and that's why we bit the bullet and put the well field in before defining a resource, because we see the importance of being able to bring that forward. And we'd like to think that we would be able to progress to that point in the second half of 2025.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for giving us that update today and for your time, Rupert Vercoe, the CEO of Cobra Resources.
Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.